bet you didn't know any of these. Today, I've got 15 insane tips, and if you watch all of these, you're gonna be a much better builder. Let's go. Okay, our first tip today comes from one of you guys, and I asked my followers on Twitter and the members of my Discord for tips they have, and I actually learned a ton. This first one's from Raider464, that you can create a few new barrier styles and colors by stacking the red and blue force fields with other styles. I've never even thought of this. So I've got a barrier here that has the dream sky look. It's got a purple or bluish top to it, but I'm gonna pull out another barrier and make it just a tiny bit smaller than the other one and change the barrier style to red force field. And then now check it out, we have more of a pinkish sky. And if you change that to blue, it's a much bluer sky than it is purple. That's insane. I want to try a few other ones here. So right now I've got like nebula red here. So look at this. This is the sky blue, but then I'm gonna add the red force field, and now we've got this really cool looking pink. Or maybe we should change it to like a nebula underneath. And check that out. Now we got this really cool orange looking nebula. I just never really thought of combining these barriers. Great tip. Okay, this next tip is from me. This one helps me so much. If you go into your My Island settings, you can change your spawn location from spawn pads to current location. Now, I've shared this before. So when I start the game, I start in the location where I push the start button, which is super helpful when you're testing. But the problem I was having is when I ended the game and returned to the island, you spawn back up in the air and have to fly to wherever you were building before. But there's a setting for this I didn't know about. So if you go back into your game settings, you'll see spawn location, but then 3 slots down is post-game spawn location. I don't know why I never saw this, and I don't know why these are separated so far apart, but you can change island start to pre-game location. So now when I start here, okay, here's my game starting right now. I can go and run around and test and jump and do whatever I need to, but then I end the game. Guess what? I return back to this white square where I was before, and this has changed my life forever. Okay, I've got another tip for myself, but I've been trying to improve my sculpting skills, and I use primitive shapes a lot in my sculptings. But one of the problems I find is that some of these primitive shapes are just too big. Like sometimes I want them to be much smaller, like that's as small as this sphere can get. But here's the tip. Instead of throwing out the entire gallery like this and picking from it, I'm gonna go into the gallery itself. Here's the small sphere. I'm gonna pull that out, and check it out, guys. The default size for this is much smaller than the original size. So this is the original size in this gallery over here. Look how much smaller it is. Now I can resize this down to much smaller. Look how much smaller that circle was able to get than this one. But if you need extra small pieces, that's how you get them. This next tip here is from Tarot Tactic. I think that's how you say your name. I'm sorry if I butchered it. You can create custom damage now with the damage multiplier. So this is the damage amplifier. So I've made a custom gun over here. This is a normal one. Well, the way I've set this up is that when you pick this up, it transmits on channel 1, and then channel 1 picks up this damage amplifier. And I've made it so this is 4 times the damage of a normal gun. Now, I wish I could apply this just to that one gun, but you can't do that. Let me show this off here. So this is the normal gun. When I shoot it at the bot over here, it does 30 damage in the body. So now I'm gonna pick up this one and check it out. When I fire it, it does 120 damage. These are both gray ARs. So we've effectively created our own new assault rifle using the damage amplifier. Pretty cool. This next tip comes from Danomite Dan, awesome map maker, and he says you can use the health power up to instantly eliminate a player via channel. Guys, I completely forget about this device sometimes, and that not only can you add health to a player, you can change it from flat increase to flat decrease and increase the magnitude to whatever you want. So right now it's 500 damage, and I've made it so it picks this up when receiving from channel 1. So when I pick up this gun over here, it should instantly kill me. You wouldn't think picking up a gun was dangerous, but when we pick this one up, it kills me. I feel like I've needed this device so many times in the past, and I forgot it existed. Awesome tip. Okay, this next tip is from me. Often when you're building, especially when you're off grid and you overlap a wall, you'll get this Z fighting effect. You can kind of see how it's kind of going all crazy on the wall. Well, if you want to fix that, make sure your grid snap is off. Then select one of the walls and just barely move it so it's just not quite on top of each other. And you'll see here, now the Z fighting is gone and the wall looks really good. You may see a line on there. Okay, yeah, so there's like a little line right there. And if you want to get rid of that line, you just got to line it up a little bit better. And eventually you'll get the wall to look the way you want and get rid of that Z fighting. This next tip is from Jacob here. You can resize the wall, floor, stereo, or whatever you want and switch back to normal builds, and they resize and you can still build on them. Let me show you what he's talking about. So you have built to prop and built to prop off. So built to prop off is when it snaps to the lines on the grid here. I think most of you guys know that, but you can turn building as a prop on so that it changes this piece into a prop and you can place it anywhere you want. You cannot resize it if your building to prop is set to off. With it on, you can resize it. I'm just gonna resize it up 5 times. And let's make it 10. We have a really big wall here. But now we can turn building as the props off. And guess what? This new giant piece snaps to the grid just like a normal piece would. So you can easily build walls. And if you go up by increments of 5, so I did it at 10, they line up perfectly. So this works for all types of items, but this makes it so you can build a lot faster even when you resize something. So now we quickly have a boxed arena here that I could build in no time flat. Great tip. Pancake Warrior here says Hunter's Haven prop gallery has a small light that you can stretch and make it look really good for Star Wars types builds. I don't use Hunter's Haven enough, but it looks like this is the light he's talking about here. Let's turn off the lights on my map, make it nighttime. Okay, there we go. That is a nice looking light. Let's stretch it out like he recommended. Oh, that is a nice light. We can make it wide too. This is an interesting light. I've not really played around with it a lot. Yeah, it's very nice. Just really good for like futuristic or sci-fi type builds. Thanks for the suggestion. That's awesome. This next tip is from my good friend Tact here, who he says is a tip from Enderbite, who's an amazing map maker. The Dark Tilted Gallery has a black parking post prop that's perfect for sculpting eyes. I always struggle with eyes on characters. Like this is my Ralph Wiggum character I did last week. We're gonna pull out his head here, and you can see here for the eyes, what I did is I just overlapped a smaller sphere with a bigger sphere. But let's pull these eyes out and just make them so they're just white eyes. And I'm gonna try to find this prop in the Dark Tilted. Ooh, this looks like it's it right here. Oh yeah, that's gotta be it. Oh yeah. This will resize nice. Just make it the size you want for your sculpture. And then this works really nice because I can place it a little bit easier than another sphere like overlapping the sphere. And now Ralph has some different eyes. I actually really like those. Got a nice shine to it and everything. Radical Redhead has a great tip, and I've personally never used this. I need to do it. But one problem players have sometimes is they come into a map and it's full and you're stuck in spectating mode. One way to circumvent this is to grab the round settings device. Then all you have to do is change the trigger to transmit on a channel and activate when the game starts. And then connect that to your round settings device to disable matchmaking when receiving from that same channel. This way, once your lobby's full and the game launches, it's going to disable matchmaking so that no one else can log in, and the next people that are trying to get into your map will log into a brand new game. Really effective, awesome trick. I love this tip from Cringe here to use the carrot nose from the Snowman Gallery as blood. So you can see right over here this red carrot. I've seen this used so many times in different horror maps. This is a prop a lot of map makers use to simulate bloody globules on the floor. Now, I don't use a lot of blood in my maps, but if you need it, there it is. This tip from Beef Boss is to use no grid snap when placing props. So I'm going to use this tree here as an example. Right now, I have a grid snap on, and anytime I place it, no matter how I turn, it places in the exact same orientation. So these trees start to look really boring because they're all exactly the same. But if I turn my grid snap off, then anytime I turn, the tree turns with me. And so now you'll notice the tree is oriented a little differently, and they start to look a lot better when placed next to each other. This works for all types of props. It just makes building with props a lot faster and looks a lot better. This next tip comes from Shutbird, and they said for building anything, if your props are overlapping and it's hard to select it, you can borrow a friend. I use this technique all the time with Ketchup Plays. Now, Ketchup Plays, he's my internet friend. In fact, it's just me on another account, so you don't even have to have a friend to do this. But let's say I'm trying to select some of his hair, and you can see right now, I cannot select his hair. I can select his head, but I can't get his hair. So I need Ketchup Plays to select the head for me and then pull it off. Then I can select all of the hair. Then I can reposition it however I want to see. I can pick it up, and then he can just right click and let go of the head so the head's in the same position. And then I can reposition this hair however I want. It's a really effective tool when you're sculpting, because sculpting can be such a pain when something is hidden underneath something else. Thanks, Ketchup, please! This tip is really cool. It comes from Onion Oni, who says, even if your island is full, there is an underneath. Just use a barrier device for the sky and make another island. So I've used up all of my space up here, but look under here. There's this giant space you can build something, but it looks all funky with the bottom of the map. So you just place a barrier down below the water, resize it however you want, put on the dream sky, and check it out. You have an entire blank island. Now, you can't build any like large structures because you've got about 2 blocks of height, but you can build a whole island structure. I don't know. There's a lot you could do down here with space that you wouldn't have otherwise. Our next tip comes from None or East Lane 6, and I don't know why I didn't realize this, but if you grab the hill terrain prop gallery, I mean, it's not much of a gallery. It's literally one piece, but usually what I've done, if I'm using this, I flatten it out, and that kind of creates a more like flat experience, but it still has a hill on it. I don't know why I didn't realize this, but if you just flip the piece over, it has the same terrain, but it's actually a flat piece. So now you can combine it with your hills and make it look really nice. You can resize your hills however you want and fit it in, and it blends together perfectly. What other cool tips do you have? Place them in the comments below so everyone can learn together. I love you guys.